Hi, and welcome back to another EPC Teardown Guide. Today, we'll be taking a look at the Dell XPS 139370. This model in particular has an i7-8550 processor. It's a 2018 workstation. It's fairly simple to take apart, and today, we're going to show you how. Now let's get into it. So for this model, I'll be using a TR5 hex bit and a PH00 Phillips. You can use a slightly larger Phillips for some of the screws if need be. So we'll start with a TR5. You take off the back cover. There's 8 of these small screws. There we are. And to get the back cover off, I usually just grab right here underneath the case, pull up, and it just pops away real easy. Now, first off, as always, we're going to start by disconnecting the battery. And now to get the battery out of there, we just have these 4 Phillips bits around the edge and then one small silver one in the middle. And that just lifts up and away. Now let's tackle the SSD. It's behind this small heat shield right here, held on by this single Phillips screw. And if you just pull straight out, it'll pull out both the drive and the heatsink. So we'll set those aside. Next up, we'll start working on getting the display out. So to start with that, we've got this display connector right here on the right side, held on by this little metal shield with 2 Phillips screws. And then to get that connector out, there should be a little pull tab right on top. You can just use that to pull it right off. If it's a little tough, just pull a little bit more from one side than the other. Then it should come right off. Now we've got this bracket here on the left side holding in another connector for the display. This screw also holds down the fan, but we'll get to that later. So for now we take that one screw out. This shield will probably be held down by the tape. You would just pull that right off. And the same thing for this one, held on by this little bit of a, what would you call that? You just pull it right away. Underneath of it are the Wi-Fi cables. As usual, whenever pulling those up, make sure you try and pull directly away, perpendicular, to minimize the risk of damaging either the port or the cable. There we go. And now, on either side, we have 2 Phillips screws. So we'll go ahead and pull those out. Now you'll be careful about removing the display from the case itself. So I tend to put my thumbs on the other side and slowly bring them forward to make sure that I'm using this equal amount of force, and then push the hinges themselves directly back. Then you can just pull the case away. Next up, we'll be tackling the motherboard, although there's still 1 or 2 steps left before we get there. We've got this speaker connector right here on the left side. I'll just be able to pull that straight out. We've got ribbon cables at the bottom, 3 of them. As always, you just lift up this little hatch, and then I tend to put a little pair of tweezers underneath so I can pull it away. You'll find the ribbon cables on these tend to be tied up in the speaker cable. I'll just be leaving that there for now, so it's a little bit trickier. And anytime you take the connectors out, it's a good idea to close those connectors again, because the little hatch on top is very brittle. So if anything were to happen to knock against that, it could break it right off. We have a easily overlooked connector right here. Let's just pull straight away from the case, or from the board. And lastly, we have 10 of these Phillips screws along the case, including 2 of them in the fan. One of which I mentioned was also holding in the fan, but that held in the LCD connector as well. So it had already been removed. And here's the part where I mentioned that if you're having any trouble taking these screws out, you can use a slightly larger Phillips bit. It's like I forgot 2 more screws right here on the left. There we go. There's a few other things you could take apart in here if you wish to do so. As I said previously, the speakers come out. The touchpad is also removable. There's screws underneath these little pads, but we'll be leaving that in there today. And so that's how you take apart the XPS 139370. Thank you for watching.
Don't feel like doing a teardown yourself? Have not just 1, but hundreds of devices taking up space? EPC is a global leader in the ITAD field, and it's our goal to reduce e-waste and give devices a second chance. Reach out to us today to learn more.